I'm not in any way being disrespectful when I say this, but there's a mean streak to Jon Jones that you see when he's fighting. And when he's doing his interviews, he hides it. He's kind of, friendly, etc., etc. But when you put somebody in front of him, they are food, right? He is trying to rip you apart and take bites out of you. That edge is really what makes Jon Jones great in mixed martial arts, because he finds the edges of the rule book where he can push and really try and do damage to you with nasty things.
Jon Jones, to me, is the greatest fighter that's lived. Yes, I will admit that. What I think makes champions the best champions is, how did you change the game? How did you make an impact on the sport? Not what did you do for yourself? Who did you make a difference for?
Absolutely.
And that's championship stuff. Nobody fights like Jon Jones.
Yeah.
Nobody.
Jon Jones is a bad guy who's trying to be a good guy. Right. But that guy, if we were living 1,000 years ago, he would be on a horse with the biggest battle axe, waiting in the back, hacking heads off, and everybody would be running. And those people have always existed. These dominators have always existed.
Yeah.
But Jon is like a genuinely sensitive, intelligent guy who's trying to do the right thing. But he's a conqueror.
When I was a champ, it was about avoiding the landmines. And I think Jones has become a master at avoiding the landmine. So if you have a great left kick, he understands I got to be away from the left kick. Great right hand. It was always about, especially when you're the champ and you're sleeping on satin sheets, right? You got all the money and you got all these young, hungry guys coming at you. You got to just avoid the pitfalls in those championship fights, and he's been able to do that.
When you look at the guys that are elite in their fields, they do a lot of the invisible things. They do all of the things that are often overlooked. The fundamentals are always clean. There's no glaring weaknesses in Jon Jones' game. Really never has been there since he first started it.
Jon Jones, listen, for all his attributes, his length, his height, his wrestling prowess, all the rest of it, the head kick power when he knocked out DC, all of that is worthless unless the mind is intact. The brain is the most powerful weapon when it comes to fighting. It is so strategic. I mean, you've obviously heard the expression that mixed martial arts is human chess, and it really is. You got to have a smart mind. But the fight IQ of Jon Jones is absolutely ridiculous. And when you look at some of the people that he's beaten, it jumps off the page. We're talking, these are all people he's beaten, amongst many others. Number one, 14 title fight victories, okay? Wins over Shogun Rua, Rampage Jackson, Lyoto Machida, Rashad Evans, Daniel Cormier, Vito Belfort, and Glover Teixeira. All former champions.
A lot of people think that Usman today is the pound-for-pound best. Do you think he's the very best?
I don't think so, because once still Jon Jones here, nobody can be pound-for-pound. I don't think so. Who make that pound-for-pound shit, and nobody did. Jon Jones is one of the best guys in this game. Nobody like him.
Yeah, I mean, that was just a hard one where I just watched him and go, man, that guy's good. And it was okay to look up to Jon. It was okay to admire Jon because I was in a different weight class. I was an 85 pounder, he was a 205 pounder. I'm 32 years old, he's 19. I'm never gonna see this guy. So to sit and admire and see see him catch legs and spin to elbows, see him come to uppercuts and to flying knees and then go and try to copy and emulate that stuff, I was safe because I'm never gonna have to deal with him. All of a sudden, I'm a 205 pounder and they got me in a world title fight. Here we are on the Ultimate Fighter, now I'm walking out to fight Jon. I did not think I was going to beat Jon Jones the night that I fought Jon.
He wants to hurt you. Francis Ngannou, he got that one-punch power. He doesn't have the same level of fight IQ as Jon Jones. With Jon is like, if he feels that you are dangerous in the striking, he's going to grab your legs, try to maul you a little bit in the ground. Then if you go in the second round, you're going to be tired.
He also beats the fuck out of your knees.
He's a bad guy. He wants to hurt you. He doesn't care to go with the elbow, with the knee. He wants to hurt you.
Jon Jones' mind is very strong. He can visualize. He can visualize something and manifest it, and he can do that real time. His mind is why he's such a good fighter. So it's just like for, I know it sounds strange, but just like Morpheus told Neo, like right before they was doing the martial art, he's like, "You think that's air you breathing?" You know what I'm saying?
Who is the pound-for-pound #1 in the UFC, and who is the greatest of all time?
Listen, it is my belief that as long as this guy is active, he's the best. The pound-for-pound best in the world, and he's the greatest of all time.
No one's really doing what he was doing back in the day. No one's really pushing things forward like he was. Like, McGregor had the same effect. There's certain fighters that at certain times have... Anderson Silva certainly was one of those fighters. Aldo, again. Occasionally there's a fighter that every time they fight, they change the way that sparring looks in MMA gyms around the world the following week. And I feel like we've been short of one of those fighters for a while now. Like, McGregor was that guy, everyone all of a sudden was a big wide southpaw that was pinging everyone with their left hand. When it was Anderson Silva, everyone was front kicks to the face and body. You know, with John Jones, it's the oblique kicks to the side, but there's so much more to John Jones's game.
Let's remember, spinning elbows, question mark kicks, oblique kicks, that nasty one, the side push kick to the lead leg, front kicks to the lead knee, as I say. They were devastating people. Now, they're commonplace in the sport, but John Jones was one of the innovators in using those. So fight IQ, and the fact that he's an innovator, come on. All day for John Jones.
He was strong.
He was always
When we
strong.
fought, he was strong. Like, he was strong. Leverage. Great with his leverage. Dude, the way he was able to manipulate positions, because I thought, without a shadow of a doubt, that I would take him down at will. But it's hard. Even if you get a takedown, it's hard against the best guys. I picked Stipe up, I threw him down. Held him down for the whole first round. And then he got up because we got to start again. So now I got to start that process all over again. So when you're fighting guys like Jones, he's so tall, he's so rangy, and he just understood fighting. The guy just understands fighting.
Yeah, he's got more patient and he's got more cerebral, and you expect that as you get older. You know more about the sport, and now it's just a matter of being able to match what you know with your ability to hit the mark, right? Being able to still get there, and that's the whole problem when you get older. Like, when you get older, you can't hit those marks, but John Jones, he still can. John Jones, he has a great mindset. When it comes to fighting, this guy's IQ is out of control. He's so creative in there, and he almost can see things before they happen. You know, he has a good way of steering his opponents and making them do what they don't want to do. He has a way of making you watch him when you don't want to watch him, and that's part of the problem. Even when you're training for him, you're like, watch out for this, watch out for that. He starts moving around doing his thing. Next thing you know, you're watching John Jones instead of fighting him.
Some people don't really watch tape, or they only watch a little bit. They let their coaches do the work. John Jones studies everyone. He studies their tendencies. He gets in his mind how when you throw that left kick, you make this little step with your right foot. You might do this thing when you shoot for a takedown, where you keep your leg on, you keep your head on one side every time. You might do this thing where when someone throws a right hand, you always lean to the left. Who is the GOAT? I think if you look at John Jones's early career, right? John Jones wins the title in 2011, and from then on has fought more fights as championship fights than he has other fights. So he's the most accomplished for sure. Beats Mauricio Shogun Rua, who's a legend. And then the way he dominates all these other fighters, up until you get to Alexander Gustafsson, you could make the argument that he had a similar career. You could make the argument, like, if you look at what he did, John didn't lose any rounds. John was smashing people. You look what he did to Rashad Evans. Look what he did to Rampage Jackson. Look what he did to Lyoto Machida. Look what he did to everybody. You look at the way he beat Daniel Cormier in the first fight. Took him down. Like, who the fuck takes Daniel Cormier down, right? And then you look at him in the second fight. Even though it was ruled a no contest, we know what the fuck happened. He head kicked him and stopped him. You know, it was spectacular.
There is not a fight on earth that I will back down for. I don't care. I go there, and whatever happened. This is the sport. And definitely, John Jones is not the guy. I mean, he might be the best fighter ever, but he's not the guy that I'm running away from. No, not him.
John Jones is not scared of anybody. I mean, I don't love John Jones, but I will tell the story the way it happened. And to make believe that John Jones is scared to fight somebody is false.
Because you're looking at a guy who's not only huge, 6'4", 6'5", longest reach in the heavyweight division. Now Stefan Struve's retired, but he's got this creativity that he can apply to people that can't stop him doing it. I think no matter how much he tries to camouflage it, it comes out between the bells of the rounds, and that might be a shock to the system for anybody.
John Jones, of course. Nobody is like him. He beats the monsters. You know, I did work, all my training, did with Alex. I know how good he did. And if John Jones could stop that guy, it's scary. And he beat like not easy fighters. It was crazy good fighters, knockout power, and on the ground it was good. Everything was like perfect. The guy and DC, you know how with pressure and he's good wrestling, and he has good boxing, and he has mentality. It's like just pressure the fighters and them, you know. And he stopped that guy as well. If he stay in the game, he has to beat pound number one.
Yeah, I do think there's definitely a wisdom that was not there before. And in terms of the fight genius, see, that's a big part of all of this, because there's no denying the God-given ability, right? The natural fighting ability and fighting instincts, the God-given frame, I mean, has huge hands, which you cannot say about every single heavyweight. But in terms of the fight genius, right? And I don't say this even tongue-in-cheek, like working smarter, not harder, I can guarantee you that he'll work harder for the Stipe fight.
I've fully joined the Jon Jones bandwagon after watching his early career, and I kind of hope we're going to see that creativity out of him again, because he may well be the best talent we've ever seen in mixed martial arts, and we should all be looking forward to seeing him back in competition.
My mindset is just to fight a few times. You know, I've been blessed to not have received too many concussions. I want to save my intelligence and my brain for my kids, raising my kids, and for future business. So I believe that I only have a few more fights left in me. And then I'll go on to being Jonathan Jones and no more with John Bones.
But one thing I think people forget about Jones is he's tough, because I hit him with some big shots, and he took those big shots and he continued to press and continued to fight. So it's not just his abilities, right? He does have a really strong mind for fighting, because in those tough moments, Jon Jones is really not running away from the fight. He's kind of going to it. And that is ultimately what makes him so difficult to deal with inside the octagon.
Jon is what I would describe is, there's human beings that have a different temperament and different minds and different mentality and a ruthless competitive drive that's almost terrifying to the ordinary person. That's Jon Jones.
I know that Ciryl Gane is only one heavyweight. There's many more that's licking at the chops to get their opportunity to face me, and I cannot wait to meet these challenges. One thing I'm very aware of is that only one of them can fight me at a time. And if you give me time to study your game, study your strengths, I will come up with a great strategy, and I'll come with full confidence, and I'll be expecting to win.